Hello, everyone. The first and second episodes of Carnival Row. Season 2 provide a recap of the first episode of the second season and begin shortly after the conclusion of the first season. New laws have been enacted since the assassination of Absalom Breakspear, the Chancellor of the Republic of the Burg, effectively transforming Carnival Row into an internment camp. Philo and Vignette now share a home. Vignette is still a member of the Black Ravens, a covert gay group that raids a supply train and acts as a mafia rebel. Because the disease that comes from medicines only affects the face. Philo continues to search Carnival Row for his friend Darius, who was imprisoned by the curse of his wolf. Philo made sure that Dario would be cared for while he was still working for the police. But now that he has been kicked out, he can't talk to his best friend. While Ezra becomes increasingly irate and enraged, Agrius and Imogen enjoy their happy moment as they travel through open water on a ship owned by the latter. Jonah and Sophie are the Chancellor and opposition leader in the Burg. However, they have critics who are eager to overthrow them. The industries in the Burg relied on the fake hind to perform tasks that humans could not. The factories are empty, and the wealthy are losing a lot of money as a result of the new rules. Agrius and Imogen meet Leonora, the leader of a socialist revolutionary group from the Pact, in episode 2. Philo decides to reveal his identity as the former Chancellor's eldest son in front of the nobles because of his desperate situation. Jonah asks Runya Millworthy for assistance at the banquet he throws to welcome the Pact delegation, which has come to the Burg to negotiate a weapon deal. Tourmaline, on the other hand, begins to have visions of the late Horace Peck's Effet Sagani and learns that she has inherited his abilities. Philo eventually finds Darius, who, when Philo tells him about his parents, initially expresses anger at his friend for taking so long to free him. Who killed Dahlia and Bolero in the second season of Carnival? The plot threads are more intertwined than in the first season. Philo is taken to the human part of the town toward the end of the first episode, where he learns that he was brought there by Constable Barrick, his former partner, because an engineer from the train that was raided had been killed and suspended several meters above the ground using the flywire that was used to keep the phase in Carnival. Roe Barrick reveals that the police are suspicious of the Black Ravens due to the fact that no human assassin can reach that high. After Sergeant Damie arrives, Philo is eventually compelled to leave. Dahlia, the Black Ravens leader, is envious of Vignette's growing popularity, so she insists on a plan she devised and forces Vignette to abandon it while Jonah and Sophie host the Pact delegation. Additionally, just as Philo is about to reveal the truth about himself. Through the glass ceiling that is above them, Dahlia and other Black Ravens enter the hallway. Dami shoots her father as she approaches Jonah and Sophie because one of the afflicted is with them. Philip doesn't notice General Michaela's Ver as he leaves, but the Pact delegation does. The heads and wings of Dahlia and her second in command, Bolero, are discovered mounted on the walls later that evening to define Carnival Row's boundaries. Because they earlier observed the police mounting the heads of the religious fanatics that Jonah claims killed his parents on the same wall, the faith believes that the Burg government is to blame. In point of fact, it is highly likely that the assassinations of Dahlia and Bolero and the human in the first episode are connected. As Tourmaline's Corspex powers begin to manifest in her, her vision suggests this. Given this, we can state that neither the Night Ravens nor the police are to blame for the deaths, though it is certain that the killer is a mythical being. As they are able to fly, it's possible that the real killer is using a dark asher, just like Piety did in the first season. They intend to create division within the Burg society. It probably isn't even Sophie. This time, no. She is now a part of the Order, even though she rose to power through chaos. One of the Pact's rival factions is probably responsible for these deaths. Leonora. Who is she? What's new, Dawn? Leonora is one of the new characters introduced in Season 2. She joins Michaela's VR, the Pact general who has come to the Burg as part of the country's delegation. Imogen is brought to Leonora, who has deer antlers on her head, after Agrius and Imogen are brought to Ragusa, a port in the Pact territory. They are separated and Imogen is brought to Leonora. They talk a lot during their conversation, but it turns out that Leonora was testing Imogen. Because she saves Agrius from the execution, she must have been pleased with the human woman's response. The New Dawn is a humanoid and phase-led socialist rebel group. The traditional aristocratic government has begun to panic now that it has taken control of some aspects of the agreement. They've sent a delegation to the Burg to get weapons because of this. They don't know that Suffy wants to sell weapons to both sides because she thinks doing so will help the burg rebuild its empire and revive the industries. Agria depicts Leonora in a sketch on the wall of the house that they now share with other couples. Therefore, Leonora is unquestionably a high-ranking revolutionary, if not the revolution's leader, and Agris probably knows who she is. Leonora might be to blame for the murders in the burg because divisions and rivalries will help spread her ideology there.